Hey Connor, how are you doing today?
Doing good, brother. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for being here. I just had a couple of questions I wanted to ask you.
Let's do it.
All right. So for Connor, for those of you who might be unfamiliar with you, could you just briefly introduce yourself and your email marketing agency?
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Conor Gallagher. I run an email marketing agency called Kensington Media House, and I run that with my business partner, Conor Sunderland. So we've been running it for about 2 years. We have about 30 clients currently, and we also have about 10 or 11 employees. That's what it was.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's a pretty big sized agency compared to a lot of other email marketing agencies you see.
Yeah, lots to manage, a lot of moving parts, and it was pretty chaotic until obviously yourself stepped in, and that has made a massive difference.
Kind of leads me into my next question. So before our collaboration, could you detail some of the operational inefficiencies and just bottlenecks that you were experiencing in the day-to-day life?
Yeah, for sure. So I suppose the main things really, when it comes to email marketing is like you've obviously got like your campaigns and your flows. So your campaigns are kind of your ongoing, like every single day you've got campaigns going out for different clients. And, we've got, like I said, 30. It's a lot. It's a lot of campaigns, a lot of different moving parts. And then you've got your flows. Now your flows they're more like project based, but they still need to be managed because there's like a series of tasks. You need to get them built, go through QC, all that kind of a thing. Like an onboarding process is essentially building flows of like 50 plus emails, you know what I mean? All to get ready within like a 3 to 4 week period. So like there's a lot to manage. And like I said, got like 10 or 11 people on the team. So, I mean, some of the big problems we'd have before is that we'd be very last minute when it came to like our campaigns. We'd be trying to get them out on like the day of, and they have to go over to the client for review and go all the way through there. But then also a massive problem was like managing the different stages. And that was probably one of the biggest immediate impacts that happened when you came in, built your system and all the rest, was that we finally had like a top level overview of like everything that was going on in the organization. We just didn't have before. Do you know what I mean? It would be like, the campaign isn't ready. Why isn't it ready? I don't know. Like no one knew why it wasn't. Like where were things going wrong? We just didn't know. And it was just a limitation of the system. And that's why when, we met for the first time, we had this conversation, you could see it instantly. And you were like, well, look, the problem isn't your team. Your team is skilled. Like, I mean, our team is really talented. It was like they were being limited by the actual operations and systems around them. So it was mainly like getting work done on time, getting like actually knowing what to do and when, and also like knowing where things were at a glance without having to message 10 people in Slack and be like, hey, what's happened with this? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just overall having that top level view can be huge for getting everybody on the same page. How did these issues like impact everything as far as like, let's say before you had the system, how did your employees feel about everything? And then after implementing the systems, how are employees dealing with it and what do clients think?
Well, I suppose we can start with the employees because like they've been ecstatic since day one. I mean, that has been probably the biggest thing is they've come back through and they've just been like, this is a complete game changer for me. In particular, if I start with the account managers are effectively like the next level of leadership within the organization. They manage a team of designers each, and they have like, say, several brands that they're managing. Each one's managing, 8, 9, 10 brands. And what they really needed to do is they need to keep on track of, firstly, what are the key tasks that I'm managing for all these brands? So the new updated task manager that you've got built for us. And then we've got like the project manager, which is built as well, which is managing everything in terms of like our roadmaps month over month. Then the other side of it is that they now know where all the campaigns are. So like when we used to come in on our stand-ups, we would try and like go through the campaign manager and say, okay, where is everything here? Where are these campaigns going? And it would be kind of 3 campaign managers trying to, jump all over each other to find out what's going on in the mornings. Whereas now with like the new template that you built out is like, we can just see this is, okay, all of the first account managers brands, what's going on here? What stage are they at? Which ones need more information? What's behind schedule? What's ahead of schedule? And it's led to us getting like, a week ahead on campaigns at times. We've never really had, with the amount of brands that we have and like last minute changes, we never really had that. So that's made an enormous difference. And then I suppose from the client side, like the portal that we like built and put together is phenomenal. Like, I mean, I even led with it the last day on like an onboarding call for the very first time. I was just telling you about it. It blew them away. They were like, wow, I've never seen an agency that's like this capable before. Do you know what I mean? That like from day one, they were like, we know we're in safe hands. And like I always say, like perception is reality in many respects. So it's like if they feel that way, then it means they perceive they're going to have a smoother onboarding experience, which means that the client experience overall is just better. Do you know what I mean? So it's like not only is the back end improving, but the front end has really dramatically kind of picked up with that too, the client facing stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely a really great side benefit that just kind of happened, you know, where our goal was to build the operational efficient machine essentially. And then, you know, that outwards facing presence to the clients is like, wow, they've, you know, if we sign up with them, they've really got everything together. Like we know we're in such good hands. In terms of like any tangible results, like time saved, could you put maybe a number or just like a ballpark range of where you guys were at before and where you're at now in terms of how fast they can do things, or more of just how everything is organized?
I would say a combination of both. I would say we probably had like maybe a 3 to 5x increase in productivity overall, but like that's in terms of output. And like it's sometimes with output, it can be limited by, you know, clients in some respects. Like, you know, if we're not ahead on campaigns, it could be because they're delayed in terms of the review process. So like it's massively impacted the output. But I would say the biggest like that I've seen is that like the overall stress level of the team has decreased immeasurably. Like I don't even know if I could put a figure on it. Like in terms of they know exactly where things are at all times. There is no, you know, information gap. It's just flat. Like everyone knows where things are. It's like, where are we behind on this? What's happening with this campaign? What's happening with this project? Everyone knows at all times. And because of that, it's just there's no pressure ever within the organization. Things just run smoothly. When things get busy, it's like, hey, things are busy. It's good. Do you know what I mean? We're grateful to be busy. Like it's not like, oh crap, why are we busy? What are we missing? What's going on with this? Which is what it used to be. It used to be a bit chaotic. The chaos is now gone. So it's just, there's more work to be done in a shorter time period. It's okay. We'll handle it.
Yeah, that's great to hear, especially the, you know, just the stress of the employees. That's something that obviously is hard to quantify, but probably makes the biggest difference in terms of productivity and, you know, actually getting into those flow states so your employees can get things done.
For sure. Happiness too. You know what I mean? Happiness is huge.
True. Considering the growth and everything you've experienced, how do you envision the continued partnership between us? Do you think that there's a lot more room for collaboration and different features, or is it more like of a one stop and then you move on type of thing?
No, I mean, honestly, sure, we were only discussing this morning the next project. There's always another project. There's always something to be improved. And honestly, like I've just really enjoyed collaborating with you on these different projects. It's just been, you know, a phenomenally enjoyable experience to get through all these things and collaborate and build new projects. Always have something to go towards, because nothing's ever perfect. You know what I mean? It's always an endless battle like that. And yeah, I can see us working together for a long time.
Well, thank you. That's great to hear. For those agencies contemplating something similar, an operational shift or integrating AI and such, what insights or advice would you offer based on your experience with us?
I would say hire you, start there, start using Notion, and start playing around with AI. If you do all those three things, I guarantee your operations will transform. If your operations transform, as an ops guy, I can say this, your business will transform. Your business is your operations. That's it. If your operations suck, your business sucks. That simple.
Well said. A lot of people don't think about the operational side of it as much. It's more, yeah, everything else, not the back end. Awesome. Well, are there any concluding thoughts about Profit Pilot and just the journey you've had and everything that we've experienced together?
No, yeah, I'm just extremely grateful that you know, we formed this partnership, and it's been absolutely fruitful. You know what I mean? Couldn't have gone any better, and it's only the beginning. So
onwards, up and onwards. All right, Conor, thank you so much for agreeing to talk with us today. We really appreciate it.
No worries, man. No worries.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too, brother. Right on.